everybody. Just a recap, there's a few people that didn't get to meet our first meeting. So I just want to go over how week one looks. I know many of you guys are already started playing with week one, but I really want to be very clear that this is very structured. So we got to do a couple of things. We either need to identify your scale of weigh in, or you have to commit to a day to come in and weigh in. If you identify the scale of weigh in, I can bring you one if you don't have one, but if you have one, I just want to make sure that it's calibrated so it's giving us the right numbers. And we're only checking the scale on the days that you're supposed to. We're not going to be a beast to the scale. We're not going to carry the scale. We're going to really just get on it when we're supposed to. If you haven't gotten your official measurements, we can do that. But more importantly, these first 2 weeks is getting used to doing something in a pattern. Many people this week started, of course, your week one packets. Fancy dancy week one packets. All right. And this is what you guys were doing. We did in the morning, lemon water, cucumber lemon and mint, or the lemon ginger. You should have gotten in your intro package the ginger tea. It's a little strong, so each pack I can make 2 of them out of it. And this is what we're trying to do, is clean out the negative flora of the stomach. We're trying to clean out any water. So you're going to lose a little bit because you're going to lose a little water. So swelling legs, a little extra fluid around there. You do these things for a couple of days and we can get rid of that first part, which is that extra water. The 3-day cabbage diet, directions are here. Generally, you can do this at least once every 2 weeks, where you're doing it for at least 2 days. And you do nothing but the soup, but you can't have any fruits and vegetables just about that you want added. Or you can do all the way until 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock, and you eat dinner. And that'll help too. That cabbage is actually really good. It's the roughage we used to have. Everybody remember that roughage? It's the roughage that we used to have that cleans out the stomach, that cleans out the system, good vegetables, starts your body to actually understanding that this is a good thing. We can add in, I'll talk to you about that in just a second. The next page of this week's packet, it's talking about helpful tips at the bottom that we're going to do. Your Slim, that's the coffee, tea, or the Slim drink. That's in your packet as well for this first week. You would drink one of them. I have several diabetics who are in here, and if you're diabetic, chromium is in this little packet. So it'll help with sugar cravings. It'll help with making you feel like you're full, okay? And then you have, we're gonna decide whether you're gonna do a pseudo-vegetarian, which means that you're a vegetarian up until 5 o'clock, or we're gonna do intermittent fasting. We need to figure out which program you're gonna do so we'll know what to do. We have to do that within this week, because after this week, we're done with the soup, and it's time for us to get started on our regular regimen. And we need to know what that looks like, because the nutritionist is gonna give you a few choices when you get your next week's packet. And then the last part of it is goals for the week. The only goal I need you to do for this week is to get committed and to see if you can do at least the 1 day of only the soup. So you can try to train yourself to getting what you need to get in a programmed way. So you can cook for the kids, you can do this, but I have to do this. It's better if you can incorporate them together. So some of what we do here, you can add something extra for the family, but you know what you're supposed to be doing. The special powder, which is it's a fiber type powder, but the one thing I like about it is that it has a negative flora cleaner on the lining of the stomach. So I make sure you have this as well in that starter package. If you did not get a starter package, just make sure that you are doing your water, you're doing your soup. Then we want to just get in the habit of thinking about things before we eat them. Everybody should be met with me and done by Thursday, so we can start next week off fresh. Don't forget that next week you'll see something like this. It'll come to you, but it's going to have your exercise tip of the day. So this week's tip of the day, we're going to work on these abs. Now, several of you guys work at a regular job, because a lot of people are at home right now. And you know how important crunches are to getting this abdomen out the way. Well, let me show you how you could actually do this in the same way, just sitting in a chair. So you're going to do this about 5 to 10 times a day. Pretend like it's a cake right here, and you're blowing the candles out the cake. So watch me. Okay? So I blew till I couldn't blow anymore, and you start feeling it in your side. Two things have now occurred. One, I've helped open up lung, and what we got going on right now, we need all the lung exercises we can do. So I'm pulling in and pushing out. I'm also working these abdominal muscles, which are kind of the same muscles that we use to do crunches. I had a young lady who's been doing this in the last series of people, and she said 3 days after doing this, like she did several times during the day, she woke up next day tight because it felt like she had done crunches. So that's something you can do sitting at a chair. We haven't done anything. All we doing is opening that lung capacity up, pushing out some of that carbon dioxide, at the same time working these obliques. So you guys, we're getting started. It's going to be fun, but it is accountable. Generally around week 3, it gets real. For week 1 and 2, we're trying to decide, how many times did we mess up? How many times did we not do it? Was the soup good? Do you like the, several of you guys chose not to do the soup and you did the 3-day boiled egg. If you like boiled eggs, that's an amazing one. That's a good one for me, to do the boiled egg diet. Very easy to do as well. So again, when I'm mentioning things, intermittent fasted, pseudo vegetarian, the 3-day cleanse with the soup, all these things, the boiled egg diet, all this is available for you, and I can break every bit of it down, and you'll get every bit of it in each one of your weekly packets. All right, guys, just wanted to maybe put that out there because I do have about 4 people who I have not met with that I need to, but until then, we needed someplace to start, and here we go. So make sure you get your goodies if you haven't already got them. A couple people, I think I'm mailing a couple out. Now maybe I'm running to 2 people tomorrow. But until then, I'll talk to you. Live well and live less.